Howdy y'all and welcome to this special August outlook. Hard to believe it's already August. Where does the time go? Sure, it's almost over, y'all. And before we get into the forecast, please take this forecast with a grain of salt, as anything over a week out is virtually impossible to forecast, as we cannot forecast the future. Now to get into what we could expect for the month of August, we're going to take a look at the temperature and precipitation anomalies, which basically shows us whether or not we're going to be above average as far as precipitation and temperatures go. And we know that the month of July was very hot and wet here out east and sort of dry in the southwest, with flooding going on for really much of the country. So let's go ahead and get into it here, and I'll give you all my thoughts here in a little bit, what we could expect, as well as I'll show you what the experts are thinking at the Climate Prediction Center as well. Now, obviously here you can see the below average is in the brown and the above average is in the bluish green, and definitely the green. So as we push this forward, we can see that as we head into August, expect the southwest up into the midwest to come into a drying pattern, while the southeast and west central part of the country is going to be heading into an above average precipitation pattern. And it's also looking like the northwest is going to be dry as well. Expect this to change as we head into the middle of August, as it's looking like the Midwest is going to be coming back into above average precipitation pattern, as well as the Northwest. The Southwest is going to be below average, and a little bit of the Southeast is going to be below average as well. And expect this to change as well as we head into the end of August, as it's looking like we're going to be heading back into a drying pattern from the Southwest up into the northeast, with a little bit of the southeast coming into above average precipitation, as well as the northwest as well. So basically what the Climate Prediction Center is showing us is that the northwest is on average for the month of August, it's going to be below average up there. The southeast is going to be heading into an above average precipitation pattern. Now, equal chances means either above or below average, just depends, but I'm thinking the southwest is going to be below average for the month of August, while the northwest, although they're showing us that y'all are going to be below average up there, expect the middle of the month to be above average, but on average I would expect below average precipitation, because the beginning of the month is going to be below average and the end of the month is going to be below average as well. So on average, that's why they're showing us below up there. And really the same story down here in the southeast. Now I'm thinking they're getting their data for above average because of the tropics. They're expecting the tropics to heat up for the month of August, which from August all the way into October is the meat and potatoes of hurricane season. And speaking of the tropics, I can't show you the systems out there just yet, because the models only go out for the next couple of weeks anyway, and I'm filming this in the middle of July. So what I can show you is the sea surface temperature anomalies, and we're going to take a look at the Atlantic Basin first before we take a look at the Pacific Basin. Now, I'm expecting the sea surface temperatures to really heat up for the month of August here in the Gulf, and especially in the main development region. Now, this is only one of many factors of tropical development, of many. Now, there could still be many things that can inhibit tropical activity, like Saharan dust, for example, and many more. But we can see one of the factors that are definitely going to be favorable for tropical activity, which is sea surface temperatures. And it's looking like we could have favorable sea surface temperatures out there for tropical activity. And that's why I'm saying from August all the way into October could have an uptick in some tropical activity out there. And that's why they're showing us above average precipitation here in the southeast. Could be coming into a very active month of August as far as precipitation and tropical activity goes, especially down here in the southeast. So this can and will change, obviously, so I will keep y'all informed on X and Facebook for, so keep that in mind. Now, as far as the Pacific Basin goes, has been a very active year as far as tropical activity goes, and it has been slowing down for the month of July, but expect that to pick up at least as we head into the middle and end of August, as the sea surface temperatures are going to heat back up again here in the eastern Pacific and a little bit of the central Pacific as well. Waters out there by Hawaii are starting to warm up as we head into the middle and end of August. But of course, like I said earlier, it can and will change, and I'll keep y'all informed on X and Facebook, of course. And by the way, I'm not expecting the Pacific to be as active as what the Atlantic will be this month. Of course, that can and will change as well. Now back to the lower 48 to take a look at the temperature anomalies. It has been a very hot month, as I said at the beginning of the video, and very wet, which it's not too unusual to be hot. It's usually hot this time of year, but what's unusual is it has been very wet, and it's usually dry as a bone here out east, and it's looking like it's going to be dry for middle and end of August, especially here in the Midwest. But we head into August, I would expect the Midwest to be a little bit below average, heading into a little bit above average, but then back into below average as we head into the middle and especially the end of August. So it's looking like we could get a relief from the heat wave we've been in, as we have been coming in on record amount of 90-degree days here in the eastern part of the country, and it's looking like we're definitely going to get a relief. But if you live here in the central and a little bit of the western part of the country, expect the heat wave to continue for the month of August, as it's going to be very hot out there for the month of August. And of course, I know I keep saying it, but this can and will change. Now, the experts at the Climate Prediction Center are showing us that really much of the country is heading into above average temperatures, especially up here in the northwest. But equal chances means either above or below average temperatures, and I'm expecting the eastern part of the country to come in on way below average temperatures here as we head into the middle and especially the end of the month. Now, below average don't mean it's going to be cold. It just means a little bit cooler than it has been, and we're definitely going to be getting in on some relief from the heat here out east, as well as the precipitation in the Midwest. But the southeast is going to be coming in on even more heavy rainfall here for the month of August. So basically what I'm expecting is the western part of the country is going to remain in a heat wave for the month of August, which what else is new, it's summertime. But the eastern part of the country is going to be getting a relief from the heat. And as far as precipitation goes, I would stick with the Climate Prediction Center, but I'm thinking that the southeast is going to be above average for the month of August, especially the beginning and middle parts of the month. But expect a drying trend as we head into the end of the month down here. And from the southwest up into the northeast, I would expect the beginning and end of the month to be below average, while the middle of the month here in the Midwest is going to be above average. Northwest, I would expect below average precipitation for the beginning and end of the month, but the middle of the month, I would expect above average precipitation up there. But on average, I would expect below average precipitation in the Northwest and above average here in the Southeast. So basically, I would expect it to be cool and wet here out east. Some areas are going to be dry, while the western part of the country is going to be hot and dry, with some areas coming in on well-needed precipitation. And so now that we know all that, let's go ahead and get into some interesting August facts and folklore. And some of the folklore I'm going to show y'all here in a little bit is actually going to tie into what we could expect for this upcoming winter. Now, did you know August, of course, obviously the 8th month of the Gregorian calendar, has a rich history tied to weather patterns, ancient traditions, and seasonal lore. Originally the 6th month in the Roman calendar, called Sextilis, it was renamed in 8 BCE after Emperor Augustus Caesar, who wanted a month as prestigious as July, named for Julius Caesar. Augustus reportedly chose this month because several of his greatest triumphs occurred then, including the conquest of Egypt in Anglo-Saxon times. It was known as Weed Month or Weed Month, reflecting the rapid growth of weeds and plants during this period of abundant warmth and sunlight in the northern hemisphere. So now you know that August is named after some emperors. Now, some folklore. One of the most famous folklore associations is the dog days of summer, which traditionally span from early July to mid-August. This period gets its name from the rising of Sirius, the dog star, in the constellation Canis Major, which ancient Greeks and Romans believed contributed to the sweltering heat, causing madness in dogs, laziness in people, and even influencing wine to sour. In reality, it's simply the hottest stretch of the summer in many regions, but folklore warned of heightened risks for fevers, thunderstorms, and crop failures during this time. August is often the peak of summer heat, obviously in the northern hemisphere, sharing the title of hottest month with July in many locations, though it can also mark the subtle shift toward autumn, with shorter days and cooler nights by months in. And we are definitely going to be coming into some cooler temperatures, at least below average temperatures here in the eastern part of the country as we head further into August. So that's some good news. It's some relief from the heat anyway. Now, some weather folklore which ties into wintertime, which a popular saying goes, if the first week in August is unusually warm, the winter will be white and long, she said. Another ties fog to snowfall. For every fog in August, there will be a snowfall in the coming winter, encouraging people to count August fogs as a harbinger of snowy days ahead. If a cold August follows a hot July, folklore predicts a winter hard and dry. So basically, the eastern part of the country is going to be dry is what they're saying. Thunderstorms play a role too. Thunderstorms after St. Bartholomew, August 24th, are mostly violent, suggesting late month storms could be fierce, and we could be coming into that here in August as well. Additionally, observe on what day in August the first heavy fog occurs, and expect a hard frost on the same day in October, linking summer mists to autumn chills. In some regions, August is the second driest month based on long-term data, which we all know this, with average rainfall around 3 inches, though it can be widely varied. Lammas Day on August 1st marks the midpoint between summer solstice and autumn equinox, traditionally a harvest festival celebrating the first wheat and corn yields, with customs like baking bread from the new crop to ward off evil spirits. These sayings and traditions highlight August as a transitional month, blending summer's heat with omens of the seasons to come. So there's some interesting folklore about August that ties into our upcoming winter, which we could be coming into a dry winter. And I'll have my winter outlook in October, by the way, so stay tuned. And I'll also have my fall outlook up here, probably at the end of August, maybe September. I'll let y'all know, of course, so stay tuned. Now, some significant weather events to occur for the month of August include the 1936 North American heat wave. Heat waves have also marked August. The 1936 North American heat wave peaked in August with temperatures over 100 degrees across the Midwest and Great Plains, killing thousands and exacerbating the Dust Bowl's agricultural devastation. In 2003, a European heat wave in early August caused over 70,000 deaths, with temperatures soaring above 104 degrees in France and the UK, straining power grids and agriculture. Now, we've had a lot of hurricanes in August, and peak hurricane season starts from August all the way into October, by the way. Of course, we had Hurricane Camille, one of the deadliest hurricanes on record, started on August 17th to 18th of 1969. It was a Category 5 that struck Mississippi with 190-mile-an-hour winds and a 24-foot storm surge, killing 259 people, causing $1.4 billion in damage, equivalent to over $10 billion today. It remains one of the strongest hurricanes to hit the U.S. on record. And of course, another hurricane, Hurricane Andrew, devastated Florida on August 24th, 1992. It was a Category 5 as well, with 175-mile-an-hour winds, destroying 63,000 homes and causing $27 billion in damage. The costliest hurricane at the time led to major reforms in building codes and insurance. Another one, we all know this one, Hurricane Katrina. It was the most catastrophic hurricane on record, occurred on August 29th, 2005, flooded New Orleans after levees failed, killing over 1,800 and displacing 1 million people with $125 billion in damage. It highlighted the vulnerability in infrastructure and emergency response at the time. And other than hurricanes, we had a major volcano that erupted in 1883. It was the Krakatoa eruption. It occurred on August 26th through 27th, which injected ash into the atmosphere, cooling global temperatures and creating vivid sunsets worldwide for years. So that's pretty interesting. Now, from significant past weather events to some significant wartime weather events that influenced wars, starting off with the Revolutionary War. On August 27, 1776, at the Battle of Long Island, also known as the Battle of Brooklyn, British forces under General William Howe overwhelmed General Washington's troops as defeat loomed. A dense fog rolled in on August 29th to 30th, allowing Washington to evacuate over 9,000 soldiers across the East River under cover of darkness and mist, saving the Continental Army from annihilation. This miraculous fog is credited with preserving the American cause. Next, we have War of 1812. British troops captured Washington, D.C. on August 24th, 1814, and set fire to key buildings including the White House and Capitol. A sudden violent storm, possibly including a tornado, extinguished the flames and forced the British to retreat, killing more invaders with debris and high winds than American forces had. This hurricane of Providence is seen as a turning point that limited further destruction. So we can see the weather influenced that war significantly and helped us out. Now, during the Civil War on August 10th of 1861, at the Battle of Wilson's Creek, also known as the Battle of Oak Hills, near Springfield, Missouri, the first major Civil War battle west of the Mississippi. A heavy rainstorm the previous night, on August 9th, soaked the Confederate forces, leading them to cancel a planned night march and attack against Union troops under Brigadier General Nathaniel Lyon. This allowed Lyon to launch a surprise pre-dawn assault instead. During the battle itself, conditions were humid and hot, with morning temperatures in the 70s, rising to the 90s by afternoon under clear skies, causing exhaustion and heat-related issues among soldiers carrying heavy loads and wool uniforms. The rain indirectly shifted the initiative to the Union, though the Confederates ultimately won, securing Missouri for the South early in the war. Now the next one is World War I in August of 1914. During the opening weeks of the war and the Battle of the Frontiers on August 7th to 25th, a series of engagements along the French-German border as part of Germany's Schlieffen Plan, a heat wave gripped northern Europe with temperatures exceeding 86 degrees for several days. Soldiers marching in heavy wool uniforms and carrying full gear faced scorching conditions, leading to widespread exhaustion, dehydration, and reduced mobility. This heat hampered French and British counteroffensive against the German advance through Belgium and into France, contributing to high casualties, over 300,000 French alone, allowing Germany to push deep into Allied territory before being halted at the Main in September. Now, World War II, this was a big one. This was when we attacked Japan with a nuclear weapon. World War II saw weather play a pivotal role in August 1940 during the Battle of Britain from August 19th to 23rd. Persistent rain and low clouds grounded many Luftwaffe raids, giving the Royal Air Force a crucial respite to repair aircraft and regroup, ultimately contributing to Britain's defense against invasion on August 6, 1945. Clear skies over Hiroshima, Japan allowed the U.S. to drop the atomic bomb from Enola Gay without obstruction, leading to devastating immediate and long-term effects. Similarly, on August 9th, weather conditions shifted the Nagasaki bombing from its original target, Kokura, due to cloud cover, altering the site's history. So we can see from the Revolutionary War to World War II how the weather has impacted wartime, especially during War of 1812 when Britain attacked our White House and Capitol buildings, to World War II when we attacked Japan with a nuclear weapon. Now from folklore to weather history to some astronomical events to occur here in August. Now the highlight is the Perseid meteor shower peaking on August 12th to 13th. Expect up to 100 meteors per hour radiating from the constellation Perseus, though an 84% full moon may wash out fainter ones. View after midnight for the best show caused by debris from Comet Swift-Tuttle. It's one of the year's most reliable showers. On August 9th, the full sturgeon moon rises at 7:55 GMT, which is 3:55 in the morning Eastern Time, named for the abundance of sturgeon fish in North American waters. This time of year, it will appear large and bright in Capricornus, illuminating the night. A striking conjunction occurs on August 12th, though, when Venus and Jupiter appear just 1 degree apart in the evening sky, creating a dazzling double planet effect visible to the naked eye. Also on August 12th, the waning gibbous moon will be close to Saturn in the morning sky. Now, last one to occur for August is the new moon on August 23rd. Provides dark skies ideal for stargazing or observing faint objects like the Milky Way. The Alpha Capricornid meteor shower lingers until August 12th, with slower bright fireballs possible. No major eclipses or comets are expected, obviously, but these events make August a prime month for backyard astronomy, so make sure to take a screenshot of this, as you may be seeing some pretty cool astronomical stuff for this upcoming month. Now, Hubble and Webb telescopes of what they found for the month of July so far includes a massive galaxy cluster as a comic lens. On July 7th, Hubble's picture of the week showcased a space-time warping galaxy cluster using gravitational lensing to magnify distant background galaxies and reveal details about dark matter distribution and early universe structures. Another one is Globular Cluster NGC 1786. Released on July 14th, Hubble provided a crystal clear view of this ancient globular cluster in the Large Magellanic Cloud, uncovering stellar populations and evolutionary histories dating back billions of years, acting as a cosmic time capsule. Now, third one here, the joint view of a cosmic nursery. Collaborating with the James Webb Telescope on July 7th, Hubble contributed visible light data to a composite image of two open star clusters highlighting star formation and interstellar medium interactions. Sharpest images of the Andromeda Galaxy. Around July 17th, a decade-long compilation of Hubble observations produced the most detailed mosaic of the Andromeda Galaxy M31, mapping billions of stars and revealing insights into galactic structure, star formation rates, and potential black holes. Now, these results demonstrate Hubble's enduring value, especially in high-resolution imaging of nearby galaxies and clusters, despite operating in a reduced 1 gyro mode since June of last year. Now, the James Webb Telescope has found even more stuff than Hubble. This includes possible direct collapse of a black hole. On July 15th, astronomers used James Webb Space Telescope to detect a million solar mass black hole embedded in a large swath of ionized gas, suggesting it formed via a direct collapse mechanism rather than from a stellar explosion. This could explain the rapid growth of supermassive black holes in the early universe. The next one here is the inspection of the Cat's Paw Nebula. Released on July 10th to mark James Webb Telescope's 3rd anniversary, new infrared images pierced through the nebula's surface, NGC 6334, revealing hidden star formation processes, young stellar objects, and intricate gas structures in this cosmic nursery located about 5,500 light-years away in the constellation Scorpius. The next one here is carbon-rich dust from nearby stars. The James Webb Telescope identified two stars located about 5,000 light-years away as sources of carbon-rich dust, provided clues about how carbon, essential for life, was distributed in the early universe. Water and ice in a distant star system. Early in the month, around July 4th, the James Webb Telescope discovered water ice in a protoplanetary disk at the edge of a young star system, hinting at conditions favorable for planet formation and the potential origins of water exoplanetary systems. And the last one here, joint observation of a cosmic nursery. On July 7th, the James Webb Telescope teamed up with the Hubble Space Telescope to capture a detailed view of two open star clusters revealing star formation, dynamics, and gas outflows in unprecedented infrared and visible light detail. So you can see that these discoveries build on James Webb Telescope's infrared capabilities, allowing it to peer through dust clouds and observe distant, faint objects that are invisible to other telescopes. Now, from what they found in July to what they could be looking for the month of August. Now, there's not much information because they don't really put this information out there, but this is what I could find anyway. James Webb Telescope planned observations for this month include high redshift transients and galaxies. As part of broader initiatives, including a James Webb Telescope summer school from August 4th to 15th, emphasizing transients like supernovae and gamma ray bursts at high redshifts, exoplanets, and protoplanetary disks, continuing investigations into gas outflows from young stars and debris disks, building on recent findings like water ice detections. Another one here is joint proposals with ground-based telescopes. These, allocated through NASA, Keck, and other partnerships, may include coordinated observations of exoplanets, galaxies, and black holes. The last one here, General Observer Programs, Canadian Space Agency proposals for Cycle 4 are due August 15th, potentially influencing late-month scheduling for targets like distant galaxies or nebulae. And we see the budgetary uncertainties could impact the scope, but James Webb Telescope is expected to maintain its pace of observing distant galaxies, star-forming regions, and exoplanet atmospheres. Check the James Webb Telescope's website for updates. Schedules are released weekly, so you can see what the James Webb Telescope could be looking for this month. Now there's a lot more information on the Hubble Telescope, and observations will continue under Cycle 32, transitioning towards Cycle 33 starting in November, with allocations for small, medium, and large programs focusing on galaxies and star clusters, building on recent releases such as views of spiral galaxies like NGC 628, and ongoing surveys of nearby galaxies for stellar evolution studies. Next one here is variable stars and binary systems. Potential targets include systems like Araquari, highlighted in outreach materials to study stellar interactions and outflows, gravitational lensing and deep fields, continuing to observe massive clusters for lens-distant objects, aligning with recent July findings. And the last one here is joint and archival programs up to 2,600 orbits allocated for Cycle 33 proposals, including very small programs that could run in August, emphasizing ultraviolet observations unique to Hubble. And we can see also budget constraints from the 2025 Senior Review may influence priorities, but Hubble is set to maintain operations through at least the end of the decade. Updated schedules can obviously be found on the website where Hubble and James Webb Telescope can be found. So I hope each and every one of y'all enjoyed today's little forecast. I know it was a longer one, but these monthly outlooks are more detailed for y'all, so I hope y'all enjoyed that. Basically, this month I would expect the northwest on average to be below average, while the southeast is going to be above average. But for the month of August, I would expect, although they're showing us that much of the country is heading into an above average temperature pattern, I would expect the eastern part of the country to come in on some relief from the heat. It's going to be a little bit cool, while the western part of the country is going to be hot. So basically, I'm expecting the eastern part of the country to be cool and dry. Some areas could be wet, while the western part of the country is going to be hot. Some areas coming in on wet, some areas coming in on dry, but mostly dry out west. So again, that will change, and I will keep you informed on X and Facebook, of course. So again, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for watching. Stay cool, stay dry, and until next time, have a great August, and never stop forecasting.